45. A piece of steel. G'day, I'm here at the historic gold location of Wanyara in Victoria's Golden Triangle, in between Tarnagul and Dunolly. Gold was found here in the 1850s, and this was a thriving little town. Some of the biggest nuggets in the world were found here in this area, and it was mostly alluvial gold. The alluvial workings here are just outstanding. These guys must have worked their butts off. There's big holes for kilometre after kilometre on some of the alluvial riverbeds. An amazing place to visit and just feel the history, the issues these people must have had to deal with back in the day. Travelling from Wedderburn to Wanyara does provide an insight into the tough and colourful history of the goldfields in this area. I called into Melville Caves, a great spot among giant granite boulders and sweeping views of the surrounding area. It was these sweeping views that led to its name, after Captain Melville, bushranger, used this as his hideout in 1851. He started his criminal career at the age of 12. He was transported to Australia as a convict at the age of 15. He was at Port Arthur prison, and after several more convictions, escaped and lived with the local Aboriginals for a year, recaptured and eventually released. Arriving in Victoria, he soon took up crime again and became a gentleman bushranger. He could see approaching travellers and gold trains from a long way off, and had plenty of time to plan and reach his victims. With only a few kilometres to go to my campsite, I came across this road sign. Something must have happened here. Then shortly after, onto the noose track. Coincidence? Not sure. Then this, Murderer's Hill. The bodies of Robert Dunlop and Hugh McLean were found in a prospector's hole in 1857. While there were several arrests, it appears nobody was convicted of the murders following a farcical process, and the mystery remains. I set up my camp at Wanyara Campground. Lots of room, drop toilets, and right in the middle of history. But more of that later. Let's go try out this manticore. And it's telling me 44, 48. It's telling me it's non-ferrous, but there is some ferrous nearby. Right, let's have a look. Oh, piece of steel, heavy piece of steel. I've just found this. It's very light. I don't know, tin plate or something like that maybe. It looks like a clasp off a bag. There's a good signal. Looks like we got it out. Here it is. Huh. Ring pull top. Well, an aluminium ring pull top, and before we got a what I think is a buckle or a clasp of something by the look of it. It's a little bit heavier. Okay, nothing famous, but starting to get the hang of it. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Anyway, let's keep going. Just found another little patch a way away. I haven't hit any signals yet, but what attracted me to this was the old glass. You can see the old, that would have had a wire stopper, thick, very green. And this other old piece over here, this is old. This is quite old glass, very thick. Almost a pontoon mark there, but not quite. This is a pretty old glass, so this will be around the turn of the century, around the 1900s-ish mark around here. So, and the glass I'm seeing is consistent. Where I'll just show you. I was about there's the car. I was just over in front of the car before. We've got the aluminium ring pull top. That was the glass in that area was probably 1930s to 40s, maybe 50s. Alright, let's try this one. You can see about a 32, not too deep. Ground's a little bit softer. Alright, got it in the hand. There it is. Piece of steel. Another piece of old white milk glass. Look how thick that is. Looks like it might have had some sort of an oval shape. That would have been a beauty in one piece. That's old too. You can tell by the thickness. Another old piece of rusty steel. We had a 30-33, got it out. It looks like it's out over here. 35. Let's see what it is. It's showing in the ferrous area, so it's probably just steel, but I'm still trying to work out the best way of doing this. I think you've got to get to know the machine a lot better. Something's there. Here it is. And we're getting there. The oldest marked grave in this cemetery is the headstone of a John Brown, who died in 1859. The sandstone coloured markers scattered between the other marked graves are the unmarked graves. Local volunteers are researching these graves to find out more about the history of these people. There are probably many other lonely unmarked graves in the surrounding bush. This is Morton's Welcome Inn. It held a licence between 1866 to 1883, but that doesn't mean it wasn't operating before that. Michael Morton was transported from Ireland for stealing a cow in 1850 and joined the gold rush in the area in 1852 and soon built the pub and store. He had his family of 8 living here, as well as his patrons. That would have been a bit of a crowd. With only one afternoon's prospecting time left, I gave the gold hunting a go. I stayed in the alluvials and creeks, thought I had found the new welcome stranger that turned out to be an old caveman. Bastard. I also tried down the slopes from a nice reef and had a few targets, but no gold today. Good reason to come back and try for a bit longer next time, I think. Okay, it's time for an engine hood chat. As I said at the beginning of this trip, one of my aims was to play with this new Manticore. While in one context it is a very simple machine to operate, and I did watch some of the YouTube videos from Minelab, and it's pretty much set up to go as it is, but once you get the hang of it, which I haven't quite yet, you can then fine-tune this to be a pretty amazing bit of kit by the look of it. So what I thought I'd do is just start off simple, use the factory settings, adjust a couple of little things like volume and sensitivity for the area, but other than that I've pretty kept it much as it is. So as you've probably seen in the video, I'm still a bit clumsy, I'm still learning. We found what looks like a clasp off an old haversack, aluminium ring can, which did show in the non-ferrous area, both of them, so I understand how that works a bit now. And then a whole heap of steel, which, to be fair, was the 2D screen was suggesting that it was ferrous material. So I'm learning. I've got a long way to go, but so far a very easy machine to use in its basic form. I did notice in the middle of the rubbish dumpy area, this coil was sometimes trying to differentiate between several things at once, so I can understand why people say the M8 or the M9 coil might be a little bit better for those real trashy areas. But look, I'm happy with this so far. Alright guys, thank you, bye bye.